Whether you're an SDR, a BDE,
a commercial director, or a chief revenue officer,
this is the show for you.
the dirty word in business.
And yet, the lifeblood for any business.
It's the S word.
Sales.
This show puts the fun back in sales, where myself, Tash Rebuck, and my co-host
Steph Melodia.
deep dive into outreach strategies
Review effective sales tactics.
and even cold call live on air.
Learn from us or laugh at us.
That's what we're here for.
Now, sit back and relax as we talk about what no one else wants to.
Welcome to the S word.
Welcome to the S word, the dirty word in business, and yet the lifeblood of any business. It is sales. I'm your host, Stephanie Melodia, and I'm joined by my fabulous co-host,
Tash Rebuck.
and we're so happy to have you here. If this is your first time tuning in, then what can we say? Apologies. And if you are back, then it is so great to have you here. Get in touch with us. We want to hear from you. If you've got any feedback, stories, war stories, any strategies that have worked from you, find us on social. We'll leave our email address in the show notes as well. In the meantime, let's crack on with our next episode.
Which actually very, well connected, not to be too lame, but to what you just said, come connect with us on LinkedIn.
Yes, thank
We're going to
you.
talk about connections.
All about connection, to connecting.
A little spider webs. Are we getting weird? Is it clear we've been in this room for a while? Little spider webs of sales. Yes.
We've had the same outfit on for the past 3 episodes.
I was literally going to suggest, should I take my shirt off? 'Cause I'm wearing something underneath. I wasn't
Should
just
we
like,
take our shirts off?
yes, the S word.
I thought the exact same thing. I popped it. I was like, oh, I've been in the same thing. And I don't even love this outfit. Anyway, we are staying fully clothed. The nudity is for the paid subscribers only. We are multiple revenue streams over here, baby.
OnlyFans.
Connections. Now, in sales, we know that you are under pressure. And again, whether you are officially a sales executive, a chief revenue officer, commercial director, or if you're a founder, I believe that if you're in business, you're in sales. It's just a question of whether you're officially or unofficially, right? But we're all in sales in some capacity. And we're under a lot of pressure, right? We have goals, we have targets, there's quotas, but a lot of good deals, they come out of these relationships. They come from unexpected places. So this episode today is all about connections to deals. So Tash, kick off with you first. You've got a story to share on how connections resulted in deals for you.
So I often think of this as like a massive, massive catalyst for me. So when I started my business, I really just thought it would be consulting and coaching and training. And very, very lucky. Well, no, not luck. Well, yes, luckily, but I've made my own luck. And this is one of those stories, which Steph is the expert on making your own luck, if you don't know. But I truly think that this first connection and everything that happened afterwards is why I now have a public speaking persona and personal brand and all of that.
So
I mean, probably why I'm sat here.
Amazing.
Her name is Chloe, and she is an amazing marketing and brand and event organizer. And she is epic. She's a super cool person. And basically what happened? So I'm at a networking event. Female founders group, really nice group of people in Old Sessions House, which is lovely. And I'm speaking to Chloe and we have a really, really good chat. And she mentions to me, oh, well, look, I am, I work for this company. We may need some sales training. Why don't you get in touch with me and I'll send it, share it with the head of commercial.
Is this the first time you're meeting Chloe, by the way?
First time I've ever met
Yeah,
her.
so we're right from square one.
Square one, just sidled up to her, started a conversation.
Shows the power, getting out there, attending events, talking to people. Fantastic.
Exactly. So I connect with her on LinkedIn. And she's like, oh, yeah, lovely to meet you. Here's my email. Send over your proposal. Now, I will say this is breaking a cardinal rule of me because I will never send proposals and quotes over email. I think you should always talk them through. But she was saying that she would basically champion me and push it through. So I was like, you know what? Take a chance. So I send it over and I don't hear anything. Fair. So I follow up. So at this point, we've done the LinkedIn message. We've sent one email. We've now sent a follow-up email. I don't get a response. So I send another email and I don't get a response. So I send a LinkedIn message and she responds. She's like, oh my gosh, Tash, I'm so sorry. I've given you the wrong email address. So I send a new email and I don't get a response. So I follow up again and I don't get a response. And I'm like, well, I'm not an idiot. So I'm going to message her on LinkedIn again. And she's like, I am so sorry. I've actually left that job now.
Which, by the way, gang, a lesson there. If you're not here, this again, the power of try different channels, different things. Like, you genuinely don't know.
Yeah.
They could be the wrong email. They've left the job now. You need to try different places.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So we're at 8 points of contact now. And I'm like, you know what? Like, totally, don't worry. Totally fine. Few days later, I get a call on my mobile and I pick up and it's Chloe. And she says, look, I haven't forgotten meeting you and I really liked how you followed up with me, had a great connection. I am hosting a panel at Somerset House that is sponsored by Alaka Bank and it's all about sales. Would you like to speak on the panel? And I mean, obviously I said yes.
Amazing.
And I was like, this is so incredible. Like, what an amazing opportunity that came from a WhatsApp founders group that posted an event that I went to. At that event, someone came up to me and said, I work for the University of Greenwich Accelerator Program. I would like to have you speak at our organization. And so I went and spoke there. While I'm there, I am telling this exact story. And who is sat at the back as one of the other speakers? Chloe. And she shouts from the back of the room, that's me! You're talking about me! And I was like, yeah, I talk about you all the time because it was such a massive opportunity for me.
Amazing.
And because of that connection, obviously I was there. And then I'd also met her. I'm now I'm hopefully by the time this comes out, a resident advisor for the Black Business Residency in Somerset House.
Fantastic.
I know there are some questions to be asked there when you look at me. Don't worry about it. If you're not watching on YouTube, you maybe aren't thinking about it, but and not only that, but if I was to draw like almost like a tree root from that first connection, there would probably be minimum 10 or 20 clients that have all come from that first connection.
Love that.
And that follow-up and that chase and that continued relationship to the extent now that I almost couldn't tell you when a new person comes in where it may have come from,
of course.
because there are so many connections and branches from all of these different things that I've done. And it all just came from that one first connection.
And gang, we're not here humble bragging, maybe partly.
I mean, I am. I'm not humble. That was epic.
But a cornerstone to any strategy is reverse engineering what has already worked. Yeah. So we invite you at this point to do the same. I love doing this. I love reverse engineering. I love working back. And I'd be like, wait, where did they go? And I get how interconnected everything is. Let me ask you a quick question before I share my crazy connectedness story. Do you remember the very, very first time we met? Or the very first time we crossed paths?
When I came and talked on your...
Nuh-uh.
When we had our first call to chat?
No. This is why I had to ask you.
What did I do to you?
I think I was also at that event at Somerset House.
Shut up. You were at the Alaka Bank Somerset House?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. With Ash. Was Ash there too? If
yeah.
This one with Ash.
Oh my God, yeah, because that's where I met Ash. And then literally 2 days ago, I was speaking at Rebel Meetups on a panel.
Yeah.
So that was one of the connections.
Yeah. So that's another
branch.
branch.
Saw me speak before we even met?
Yeah. I love that she's...
never tell me this.
Because I had to do it to you on air, in front of the cameras.
My God, that's
to get
so
your live reaction.
Funny.
Right?
God, you've been holding on to this for like a year.
I just thought you already knew.
I had no fucking clue. There was like 60 people in that audience.
But this is adding to the validation of your story. This is another branch to that story.
Oh my God, no wonder
How
you let me
crazy.
be on your podcast.
Don't be so stupid.
No, because no way. I don't know if you would have. If you hadn't already seen me speak and saw that I had, because otherwise I'm got to be the lowest followed person you've ever had here. I mean, she's being really nice, but really, every now and again she thinks,
She's
I
being
can't
super
believe I
silly.
let Tash be on the podcast.
This is where she's not doing humble bragging before, but all the humility is coming out now. How crazy is that?
oh
Doesn't
my
that add to
God.
it? Yeah, as you were talking, I was like, I think this was the same event.
Oh my God.
This was the same event. I met you at the door, at the entrance. This was the very first when I first showed up.
I remember you.
I really hope you're watching this on camera for Tash's face.
Oh my God.
I love this moment of revelation. Like a year
That's
later.
so cool. That's so cool.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What is that?
Oh my God.
Okay, so while Tash processes that.
I feel like I've got like the spinning
I can
wheel.
see it.
But like, I mean, like, is that not the most like perfect example
Exactly.
of
I
connections?
wanted to leave that as the cherry on top for your story here, because not only did we connect there, but you then came on my show. Our episode was very successful, if you want to tune into that one. And it's now led to this. And where will this lead to?
Well, I mean,
How amazing
already
is
just being on your first show has led to multiple webinars for me.
Yeah.
I just got a message from someone who has done an introduction for me to a brand I would really wanted to work with.
Amazing.
So it's never ending.
Yeah, exactly.
God,
I know.
Oh, that makes me quite like emotional.
I know.
I don't know. It feels like I'm not very woo woo, but it feels very like fatey.
Yeah. How cool is that? Yeah.
Oh.
All right. So
Okay, bye.
I'm like, Tash needs a minute.
That's crazy. Okay. Tell me your story.
Okay, amazing. Well,
Like, I went to this amazing panel.
there was this event at Somerset House sponsored by Alaka Bank.
Hey, Alaka Bank, you want to sponsor us?
So I love how at the top of this episode, we talked about creating our own luck. And thank you so much for the shout out for my signature topic, which is all about hacking luck, because this is a really meta important part of the story. So first of all, let's turn back the sands of time to just under a year ago, barely 12 months ago. I received an email that landed in my inbox from someone I've never heard of, don't know whatsoever, completely cold outreach, inviting me to be on their podcast. Never heard of their podcast, don't know who they are. I'm like, yeah, cool, fantastic. It's always nice to have the tables turned after being the interviewer, being the host. I'm like, yeah, great. At this point, this maybe is a little bit of a humble brag, but I've been on about 40 podcasts at this point, right? So I'm like, cool, yeah, another one. I like to gab. Give me a mic and let's chat. So set up this podcast interview, and I'm not giving it any importance. Well, that sounds unkind. I'm like, cool, it's another podcast, another day of my life. Yeah, fantastic. It just so happens that this podcast is the marketing channel for an American innovation consultancy. And the podcast is hosted by the MD of that company. Cool. What's even luckier, and this is where it gets very meta, is merely a few days before, I had just posted on my Instagram for the very first time this idea of hacking luck. And it included this Venn diagram of all the key components that go into hacking luck. So things like taking risks, being resilient, taking accountability, being proactive, being positive, like all of these various components, which honestly at its heart is my core specialty in entrepreneurship. It's really just packaged up with this other kind of like luck, branding around it. Anyway, this MD saw that, obviously doing a bit of their due diligence with this guest, and they see I've just posted about, they have only just started posting about this idea, and I'm trying out lots of different things. And this guy latches onto it. He's like, this is so interesting.
What is?
Thank you. I've never heard this take before. This is really refreshing. And we just hit it off like a house on fire, right? Just straight away, we're vibing. We've got so much in common. We're geeking out together. And he really wants to go. He really wants to unpack this whole concept. And I'm obviously totally here for it because it's all fresh and new. And what I'll mention is the podcast format. It really does allow for these deeper conversations. And I mention it because in our current media landscape, it's all very short form. It's a quick LinkedIn post. It's a quick Instagram post. You thumb scroll. You want to stop that thumb scroll. But with this, it's like actually you've got that opportunity to go into deeper conversation.
Yeah.
Let's have this chat and all good. What they then did, their marketing team, was they made that whole topic of that interview around hacking luck. So all the the artwork, the title, the way they promoted it was all hinged around that. Fantastic. Leave it alone. Nothing happens. I'm not expecting anything. Just done this podcast. A few months later, the MD reaches out and he says, we're running these innovation programs in the GCC. Would you like to come and take part as a guest speaker and come in as a guest, keynote, give a keynote on this topic of hacking luck? Yeah, amazing. Let me just check my diary. Can I go to Doha in September? Yes, I think so.
Yeah, you bloody can. Move some things around.
Just need to cancel my threading appointment and maybe my nails. But okay, fine. I have to. Let's see if this happens.
You insist.
It gets even better. Okay. So not only have I landed a 4-figure speaking fee gig that's international in this amazing part of the world where I've never been to before. So I'm so privileged and genuinely so honored to get this opportunity to go out there as part of this innovation program. It was just tick, 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 tick. It was wow, the stars are aligning. Anyway, where it gets even better, I got such great feedback. I got an encore. So they invited me back, as you already know, went back a few months later. I was like, okay, I'm going to make it even better. I'm going to refine this. I'm going to go deeper. I'm going to find out more research, more stories, make it even better, more interactivity and all the rest of it. And where it's so meta is I was like, hang on a minute. I'm telling everyone about how to hack luck. How can you create your own luck? How can you stack the odds in your favor? How did this even happen for me in the first place? So as we just did with you there, that exercise in which I invite all of you to do as well is to reverse engineer. Take something that's worked, a deal you've landed, a contract, a speaking gig, whatever it is. Follow those steps back. How did you end up here? Because at that moment in time, I didn't have the 100% clarity on the exact steps that took me there.
Anyway, how they found you, why they wanted to speak to you
I knew
in
it
the
was
first
off
place.
the back of the podcast, but I didn't go into
Yeah.
detail. So it was the second time around where I'm like, all right, foot to the gas. I want to make this even better. And I reached out to the marketing assistant who reached out to me in the very first instance of February 2025, who, bearing in mind, I haven't had any contact with because they just reached out to organise me guesting on their podcast, which was amazing. I was like, hey, dude, because we're already connected on LinkedIn. I'm like, so I'm not sure if you already know this, but I've been invited back, which is fantastic. And so this is very meta because I need to ask you in preparation for this next talk, how did you find me? How did you even come across me in the first place? And he was like, oh, that's amazing. And what's really funny is there's all these screenshots of everything in the talk of hacking luck, right? So I'm using all of this as the case study of how I got lucky with this, right? And he was like, oh, yeah, that's so. If I love that you're using this in your talk, and the screenshot of that is in the talk. We actually came across you because basically we were looking for more women in the space, female entrepreneurs, subject matter expertise that could also, public speakers and stuff. And you're a mutual connection of one of our other guests. Not only that, but you've got that visibility on LinkedIn. And so very lucky because I happened to be connected to someone that was out of my control, but we've got this mutual connection, luck. But increasing my visibility on LinkedIn, this message could not have come at a better time, because this is exactly the time where everyone, myself included, honestly, myself very vocally included, are saying LinkedIn is dying, organic impressions are tanked, even worse if you're a woman and your demographic profile is female on LinkedIn, all this and that and the other. But I was like, this was the validation that I needed. I was visible. Bear in mind, I've been plugging away and putting in these reps on LinkedIn consistently for literally 6-7 years at this point, right? And so this is another key takeaway, is the legwork that goes in that's beneath the tip of the iceberg, that not only do others not see, but you don't see it either.
Yeah.
And that's the hardest thing, because you don't always know the opportunity cost of you saying yes to something inherently means you're saying no to everything else. And so I'm wondering, it takes me a good few hours every Sunday afternoon to create all my content for LinkedIn and schedule out the week's posts. I'm like, is this the best use of my time? And so you get that validation of you were visible, you had the mutual connection. You've also got this body of work behind you as well. That means we can trust you to invite you on our show. And then I've just posted this unique framework on hacking luck, and the rest is history. And then it snowballs, you get invited back, you do this good job. But that for me, I think, is probably one of the best stories that ticks all those boxes in terms of the connections, where they lead to, these other opportunities, who else was in that room seeing me speak as well. Will they book me for something in the future? Maybe, who knows?
Yeah.
But you never know. And so this is an opportunity for me also to encapsulate what I preach around hacking luck.
I love that. And I've got to say, I'd never ever heard anyone talk about hacking luck before until I heard you speaking about it. And I just love it as a concept, because I think that often when we say, oh, well, I'm really lucky, we're actually diminishing what we've done ourselves.
100%.
Whereas creating luck and hacking luck, that is a conscious action, which really, when you think about it, I mean, like, technically, okay, we'll put the title of this episode as like connection to deal, because like, woo, buzzword, clickbait. But actually, the moral of both of our stories is to go for the opportunity.
Yeah.
And even if you don't know what will come out of it, say yes. Obviously, within reason. If you're burning out, don't say yes to everything. But if you hadn't said yes to a podcast that you weren't too sure what the reach was, if I hadn't said yes to going to a networking group that I wasn't too sure how the event was going to go for me, if you don't say yes, you don't make that connection, you don't get what happens next. And it's also, this story for you is a testament to how you're building relationships. And if you haven't watched our Toxic Sales Stories episode, get yourself a calming cup of chamomile tea and maybe chime in, because there's a lot of chat about how you treat other people and how you behave will come back in the end. You reached out to that marketing assistant and they were more than happy to give you the content that then was so good that, like, I've seen your post blowing up about it, about your second trip. And if you'd been an arse, they wouldn't have gotten back to you. And I've actually seen it with when I've been co-presenting with people on panels. I've seen I'm invited back and I'm seeing they're not. And if you look at our email chains, when like the intern is trying to organize everything, who's the most responsive out of us? It's me. Because every connection is important. And maybe that's a good thing to sort of like wrap up on, is you never know what opportunity will bring a connection, and you never know what a new connection's value is. So don't devalue people. Don't treat people who are on lower levels like total crap, because they might be the person that gets you your next amazing opportunity or introduce you to your next massive client. So yeah.
You really never know. But above all, say yes.
And do you know what's really crazy, Steph? I was that marketing executive.
No!
It was me!
Oh my God! I recognize you! It was you all along.
It was me all along. But yeah, connections, man. You never know what will happen.
Because I didn't treat you like shit. Oh, another podcast. Fine. Take up my valuable time. Oh, so funny. Oh, gang. On that note, thank you so much for listening. We hope we've given you inspiration as always. I really do encourage you to not only reverse engineer, look back at what's already worked, but say yes to the next event that comes your way. Put yourself out there and start to hack luck.
Make a connection. Connect with us. Tell us how you've turned meeting someone at an event into a massive opportunity, or talk about ones that maybe you've missed. I'd love to hear it. Maybe we can help you not miss it in the future. Get in touch. Connect with us. Like and subscribe. It's free. It's the easiest sell in the world. Chime in next time.
Thank you so much for tuning in. Bye.
Bye.